It was a dark and stormy night when the old, dilapidated mansion appeared on the horizon. Despite the warning signs of danger and the whispers of the townsfolk, a group of friends decided to brave the elements and spend the night in the haunted house. As they settled in, strange noises and unexplained events began to occur. Doors opened and closed on their own, objects moved without explanation, and ghostly figures appeared in the corners of their eyes. One by one, the friends began to succumb to the horrors of the mansion. Some were driven mad by the supernatural occurrences, while others were physically attacked by unseen forces. As the night drew to a close, only two of the friends remained. They huddled in the corner, trembling with fear as the ghosts closed in on them. Just as all hope seemed lost, the sun began to rise, and the ghosts vanished with the coming of the light. The two survivors stumbled out of the mansion, shaken and scared by their terrifying night within its walls. They vowed never to return to that cursed place, and spent the rest of their lives trying to forget the horrors they had encountered. It was a hot summer day when the group of friends decided to go hiking in the nearby mountains. They had heard of a beautiful, secluded waterfall that was the perfect spot for a swim, and they were eager to escape the heat of the city. As they hiked through the dense forest, a feeling of unease settled over them. The air was still and heavy, and a sense of being watched seemed to linger on the edges of their consciousness. Despite their misgivings, they pressed on, driven by the desire to reach the waterfall. But as they approached their destination, the trees began to thin out, and a strange, pulsing energy filled the air. Without warning, the ground beneath their feet began to shake, and a deep, guttural roar echoed through the valley. The friends froze, terror gripping their hearts as a massive, otherworldly creature emerged from the shadows. They turned and fled, their screams echoing through the mountains as they ran for their lives. They never spoke of what they had seen, but the memory of that terrifying encounter stayed with them for the rest of their days. It was supposed to be a fun night out for a group of friends, an escape room adventure to test their problem-solving skills. They had heard great things about the new Escape the Mad Scientist room, and were excited to see if they had what it took to solve the puzzles and make it out before time ran out. As soon as they stepped into the room, Emily knew something was off. The puzzles were more difficult than any of them had encountered before, and the clues seemed to be leading them in circles. "This doesn't make any sense," Emily muttered, flipping through the pages of the puzzle book they had been given. These clues don't seem to match up with anything in the room. "We're running out of time," Jake said, checking his watch. "We only have an hour left." The group frantically searched for any hints or solutions, but it was like the room was working against them. They were starting to panic when they finally stumbled upon a hidden door. "Look over here," Emily shouted, pointing to the door. "There's something behind this wall." The group rushed over and pushed open the door, revealing a room filled with strange, scientific equipment and a madman cackling maniacally. "Welcome, my dear subjects," the madman said, his eyes wild with excitement. "You have been chosen to participate in a very special experiment." The group backed away, horrified. "What the hell is going on here?" Jake demanded. "This escape room, my dear boy, is actually a twisted experiment," the madman replied with a sly smile. "And you are nothing more than lab rats to me." Emily's stomach dropped. "We have to get out of here," she said, turning to the others. "We have to find a way to escape," but it was too late. The madman had locked them in the room, and no matter what they tried, they couldn't find a way out. They were trapped, and the horrors of the madman's experiment would stay with them forever. As the hours ticked by, the group was subjected to a series of terrifying and painful tests, all designed to satisfy the madman's twisted curiosity. They begged and pleaded for mercy, but the madman only laughed and continued with his sickening experiments. Just when they thought they couldn't take it any more, the door to the room burst open, and a group of armed men rushed in, guns drawn. They quickly subdued the madman and freed the friends, who were rushed to the hospital to receive medical attention. The group was left traumatized by their experience, and they vowed to never do an escape room again. They had survived the madmen's twisted experiment, but the horrors they had endured would stay with them forever. As the last remnants of daylight faded from the sky, a sense of dread descended upon the small town. It was the kind of feeling that made the hair on the back of your neck stand up and your heart race with fear. No one knew exactly what was causing the terror that had taken hold of the community, but rumors and legends circulated wildly. Some said it was the work of a vengeful spirit, others whispered of a monster lurking in the shadows. One by one, people began to disappear, their screams echoing through the empty streets as they were taken by the darkness. Those who remained huddled inside their homes, barricading the doors and windows against the unknown terror that lurked outside. As the body count rose, a feeling of hopelessness settled over the town. Hope to It seemed as though there was no escape from the horror that had taken root in their midst. But one brave soul refused to give in to fear. Determined to uncover the truth and put an end to the suffering, they ventured out into the night, facing whatever dangers lay ahead. In the end, they discovered that the source of the terror was a group of human predators using the veil of the supernatural to cover their tracks. The town was forever changed by the events of that fateful night, but at least the horror had been brought to an end, thanks to the bravery of one person who refused to let fear consume them.